Americana, the church in the Pines. And I thought, well, if I could have anything I wanted, I would have a big old church in the Pines. I'd have a service outside with all of you there, and Robert and you'd have to bring his keyboard, I guess. And there'd be this beautiful view of trees all around us of the forest with a creek running through it, and I would hear the birds, and we would hear ducks in the background, and kind of just like the music that you put on before with all of the beautiful forest sounds. I love that. You know, that's church to me. That's where God is, right? That's where I feel God. And I think that's what I want to focus on today, is feeling God, each of us. We come here and we have a lot of head stuff, we have a lot of heart stuff. But when I step into the forest and I am just quiet in the trees, I feel God there. Mother Teresa said that we need stillness to touch our souls. Boy, I really, really believe that. She said, see how the trees and the flowers and the grass grow in silence. The stars and the moon and the sun, they move in silence. And she said, we, as humans, need silence ourselves to be able to touch God, to feel God. And when we do, that's where our healing begins. When we are present with God, our healing begins. I love that. And God, to me, is nature. It's in nature. It's in everything. And stillness is the way that we create the space so that our soul can work miracles. It creates space in us. So I want to focus this talk on just being aware that all around us are these healing powers of nature. Walk outside and you can be in God. Walk in here, you can be in God, because God is where you are, right? And then feeling your spirit, and then keeping it conscious, just keeping it conscious. And it's not easy, right? It's not easy because we're walking between two worlds. We walk in that world of the sacred, that world of silence, and then we walk in the human world, the divine, and the human world meet. My daughter made me this area. She's been staying with me. The family's been staying with me for a while, kind of on and off. They go back to their house. But she knows I need a little more quiet now. And so right off of my bedroom is a little balcony. And she put a little chair and a little table up there, and she hung a bird feeder, and she put this big bouquet of flowers. It was so neat, and it's really pretty up there. So actually, a couple days ago, I got up really early before anybody had been up, and I just sat there, right? You know when you first get up before the alarm goes off or anything, and you're just kind of groggy, right? You can't even think yet, you're just there. Usually I run down and get coffee. I didn't do that. I just went out and I just sat there. And it's on the second floor, right? It's on the upstairs. So all around me are the pine trees. I live in just this incredible area that's got these big, beautiful pines. I can almost touch the maples in front of me because they're all hanging over here. And it's so beautiful. So I'm kind of just like breathing this in. And I actually saw a squirrel way up high running in the trees. I heard these most beautiful sounds. I started to breathe. And I breathed slowly and slowly and slowly. And I got to thinking, this is the way it's meant to be. This is nature, you know. This is who we are. The most beautiful thing in the whole world. See, it's like I was in God at that point, right? Slow. I would have a slow rhythm, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And then somehow, I guess I had gotten up early before my alarm, because just then my alarm went off, right? And then I hear all the footsteps in the background, and I hear all this stuff going on in the house and stuff, and I went, wow, that kind of shook me back out of this world. The reason I tell you this is because I say we walk between two worlds. We walk in this divine, sacred beauty. And then we walk in the human world, which doesn't mean it can't be beautiful too, but it's a distinct difference. You understand what I'm saying? There's two of us, two feelings there. And what I think I got from that is I noticed that my heart was in sync with nature when I was out there. And then the minute I stepped into the human world, it was in sync with that, faster. the mind kicked in. It was like dropping, I always say drop from your mind to your heart. Well, this went from my heart to my mind, went back up, right? So, I think it's important to know that we walk that way too, in the world. So, here's what I really believe is that all of us are yearning for that feeling. We're yearning to get back to that space that we came from, that beauty, that quiet, that stillness that God is, where it's all knowing, it's all beautiful, it's everything. And what that is a connection. It's a connection to your soul. I so believe that we are all yearning for our roots. And I got to thinking how times have changed, that there's this deep, that we were at one time deeply connected with the earth, right? We grew through the earth. I don't believe we were plopped down here. I was taught that as a young kid, that there was earth and then here you come. And I think we grew through it. So it's in our cells and in our souls, through evolution. See, we grew along with the mountains, and we grew along with the trees, and we grew along with the streams and the oceans in a natural, in a peaceful, in a not hurried way. And it wasn't so very long ago that we were like the rest of the animals and the plants on earth too, that we moved in natural cycles at nature's pace. And then I got to thinking about now, how we're on machine time, right? We're on machine time, boy, and that started, I don't know when, probably with the Industrial Revolution. Here we are, speed it up here. And there's never enough time for anything, and they even found, and I thought this was interesting, that time poverty is actually a recognized psychological disorder. Time poverty. In a speeded up, highly complex society, there's just not enough time for everything. I once read that when we feel the need to speed up, we need to slow down. And I have to remember that a lot. And then there's a famous quote that I love, and it says, it's imperative to meditate a half hour every single day, unless you're really busy. Then it's necessary to meditate an hour. That's how much we need the quiet and the slowness to get back to nature. So it was in the 90s that a group of scholars and activists met to discuss nature and working together with nature and healing practices. And they came up with terms, and I have so many books on ecotherapy, ecopsychology, that talk about the healing benefits for each of us out in nature. And it came into recognition about in the 90s. And they said that we are now suffering from a lack of nature in our lives. That a lot of the environment is all closing in, and there's cities, and there's concrete, and there's all this stuff all over, and we don't really get out to nature like we used to. And what they found out, science has said that green therapy heals. That being outside in nature has the same effect as antidepressants. The same, not a little bit less. Has the same effect. So instead of going to the doctor and getting the antidepressants, you could go sit under a tree and get the same thing. Don't do that. I'm not saying to do that, but that's the science behind it. Judy read you the benefits about lowering your blood sugar, energy, your depression, improving your sense of well-being, calming your anxieties, raising self-esteem. They even found that it increases an anti-cancer protein production. Wow. Helps you lose weight. I read too, I thought this was really interesting, that the trees absorb the toxins from the streets and from the cars and from the air so that you don't have to. Wow, I just think that's neat. So anyway, I heard a lot about forest bathing recently, and I wanted to do a talk on it, mainly not just about forest bathing, but I love that term, forest bathing. It's just like drinking it in the forest, Actually did that this morning. I laid there in my pajamas and just opened up my windows up there, and I just felt the breeze come in this morning really early, and I felt like I was bathing in the air there. And anyway, so I found this book. It's called Forest Bathing: How Trees Can Help You Find Health and Happiness. I have loved trees forever, and I didn't really know why. By Dr. King Lee, who wrote that quote that Judy put in the bulletin today. So I have seen several articles on this, and I wanted to talk about it today because forest bathing is very cool, right? Very cool. And It's defined as making contact with and taking in the atmosphere of the forest. However the forest looks, and the trees and stuff. That what sets it apart from merely just walking in the forest is that we actually consciously go out into nature and we smell, we listen, we use all of our senses there. We walk barefoot if we can. I don't know if I'd want to walk barefoot through the forest, but I would put my hands on the trees and hug the trees. Do you remember doing that ever in the 60s? We used to go out and do that. And it's about being mindful, right, in the forest. And I'll tell you what, but in the trees, I know more about trees than I ever thought I would know, but they all emit this phyto something nutrient, and they all smell different, right? So you can like smell the leaves from a tree. There's like 5 different smells, and they smell like dill and like lemon and stuff. And when you are really present and mindful, wow, it's like your heart opens up. There's all this incredible research, but more than that, I want to talk about the connection that we have with nature. There's 2 main religions in Japan, Shinto and Buddhism. They both view the forest as the divine realm, right? The divine realm. They see the trees and the rocks and all the trees, and everything is beautiful, and they're called Kami, K-A-M-I. And that's the natural world, see, is their book of God. Don't you love that? It's their book of God. Where the Bible, and there's the Quran, and there's the Bhagavad Gita, there's all this stuff, head knowledge. But their book is out in nature. And they know that God is within them, and within every single thing in nature. In the book, I read a lot of Thoreau, I love Thoreau, and in the Walden book, he's got a quote that says, "Only that day dawns to which we are awake." Think about what that means. Only that day dawns to which we are awake. And I think what that really means to me is that we really can't appreciate something unless we are awake. Right? We can walk right by in the morning, I can get up and never look at the trees in my backyard, or I can be awake to them and feel them and acknowledge them. And that's what this talk is about. See? It's about spending time in nature, but not just head time, not just looking outside, but feeling it, taking it in, seeing through the eyes of the soul. Seeing through the eyes of the soul. I love that. Bathing in nature. Just bathing in it, taking it in. Alan Watts, I get a biggest kick out of him. He says, if you go off far, far in the forest, that you'll come to understand that you're connected to it. That you are connected to it. You can feel it talking to you. And I found out that biophilia is a real term. In this, it's the need to connect with nature. And studies show that we are hardwired to commune with nature. And when we don't get it, we get sick and we get depressed. And I think that's what happened in Japan, right? When they finally designated all these forests as these forest bathing forests. This guy, that's what he did. He went to find all the forests in the world and designated them. I think that's on my bucket list now coming up, is to hit all these forests and walk through them and forest bathe. It just sounds so beautiful. So, I've talked a lot here about nature and about my walks at Yorba Park. I love that park because it's got trees and they have a whole forest area in it. And I talked about when I went to San Francisco and I walked through the Muir Woods and the beautiful trees that I saw. And I'll tell you what, it changed me. It really did change me. It brought me alive. It brought me really alive. And it felt like I had this relationship with nature that I hadn't had before. It brought me to a place of gratitude and mindfulness. It really did, a mindfulness in my life. And it brought me back for a while, and I jumped back into my human realm, but it brought me back to the natural rhythm of who I am and who you are too. That slower rhythm, that rhythm of the soul. And that speaks to me, When I go to the forest now, and I call Yorba the forest, because there's an area in it, I look at everything around me, and I look at the bark of the trees. I can tell you what it is. I feel the breeze. I even look, Judy and I had an email discussion about mushrooms. Look at the little mushrooms that grow, and I get high. That's what I love. I feeling that I want to soar when I feel this. Because I really notice this, that a deep peace settles within me. And I love it that you played that song, Deep Peace. That is so beautiful. That's the most beautiful song. So, I guess I feel like there's not a lot of difference between us and nature. That we are just a more conscious form of it, right? So when we look at the trees and we look at the plants and the flowers, how can we do things to hurt them? How can we hurt the environment when they are us? We are connected to that. We're only conscious of it. You know, nature isn't just a collection of trees. That's not what the forest is. It's not a collection of trees and rocks, but it's a presence. It's a alive presence of God out there. And when we get that, it changes us. It really changes us. It helps us to feel it. That's what Mother Earth is. It's not something here. And what I know is, as much as I love people, there isn't a person that can feel the feeling of nature. So, here's what I know is that I think I have a spiritual relationship with nature that I never had. And it's an intentional one. It used to be like an aha every so often. Oh, it's so beautiful. But I've changed it to one that's intentional. I go out seeking spirituality. I don't go out. I used to go out for my walks to get exercise. I go out now to fill up on God. And it changes my life. It makes me more peaceful. It makes me more healthy. It makes me a better person, right? And I think it keeps me that way too. I feel like there's a steady baseline of deep connection that I'm beginning to have. So I want to close with a quote by Fritz Hall, who is the founder of the Whitby Institute, which is in Seattle, near Seattle. It's near my home. It's where you were, Donna. We went up towards Whidbey Island. And it's in Whidbey Island, and it's a beautiful place that someday I want to visit. I didn't know it was there when I lived up there. But this guy, here's his quote. He says, there was a quote that was responsible for my conversion to nature-based spirituality. And it was from Chief Dan George. And he said, I found nothing in Scripture that helped me at all. I had to leave all Scripture behind. I found people like Thoreau and like Muir and all those nature people. Then I found some Native American writings, and that's what did it. That's what did it. It nailed it for me. And I carried it in my wallet for years. And this is the quote that I'm going to end with. The beauty of the trees, the softness of the air, the fragrance of the grass speak to me. The summit of the mountains, the thunder of the sky, the rhythms of the sea speak to me. The faintness of the stars, the freshness of the morning dewdrops on the flowers speak to me. The strength of fire, the trail of the sun, and the life that never goes away. This is what speaks to me, and my heart soars. That was it. I folded it up, and I stuck it in my wallet. Nature is calling you. Spirit is calling you. Love is calling you. Have you heard her? Thank you.